Good morning, everyone. So I thought this would be a lot easier to share the slides with you this way. So um, at this point, everybody should have already filled out the Do Now because it's on the attendance form. So the Do Now said, it gave a quote. I speak not for myself, but for those without voice, those who have fought for their right to live in peace, their right to be treated with dignity, their right to equality of opportunity, their right to be educated. Malala Yousafzai. So, how would you interpret this quote? The whole purpose is to try and start using the TMERP format that we've gone over in class in order to prepare you for the third part of the English Regents. So for those of you who remember what TMERP stands for, the MERP is considered the analysis portion, which is M stands for meaning, I is for inference, R is for relevance, and the P is purpose. So, uh, for this particular quote, what is it meaning? So, what is it saying to you directly? What is it implying? The inference. How is this relative, right? Or relevant? So, it could be relevant to today's society, for example. And what do you think the purpose of the quote is? So this is a at the time teenage girl who was speaking about this. And if you chose Malala as your um, controversial figure, right, you should have some idea of who she is or do some background. So that is the do now. If you haven't done that, make sure you go ahead and do that on the attendance form. Remember, 4 sentences is minimum credit. You should be shooting for 6 sentences to get full credit. Okay, so that's the do now. Then for some announcements, I noticed some of you shared the presentations with me, some of you haven't. So if you need my email address to share your PowerPoint with me, it's on this slide. So it's mannyander.english@gmail.com. So my idea for the presentations, usually if we were in school, we would do mini presentations in your groups. Or also, we've also done whole class presentations on your controversial figure. So since we can't meet, I'm making this portion of the curriculum optional. So if you would like to present your PowerPoint, it will be extra credit. So keep that in mind. Reach out to me if you're interested in that. And essentially, it'll be exactly what I'm doing right now. So we're using Zoom, and then you just share your screen, and then from there, you can present. And then we can upload it and share it with your classmates. So then your classmates will be able to use that as their feedback forms. So if I could get 3 to 5 people, that would be ideal. So the first 3 to 5 students to reach out to me, you may receive extra credit for this particular assignment. So just let me know if you're interested. So for vocabulary today the word is reminisce. So our example sentence, when I ran into an old friend at the store, she and I decided to meet for lunch so we could reminisce about our high school days. So this is the part where I would ask you for context clues. However, for the sake of me presenting. Some context clues would be an old friend, right? So we could see that they've had history together, um, and they decided to meet for lunch so they could talk about their high school days. So it's an old friend, uh, and they're talking about their high school days, right? So they're looking back into the past. So the definition is indulge in enjoyable recollection of past events. So remember, you're keeping track of all the vocabulary words, as we will have a vocabulary exam fairly soon at the end of this unit. So make sure you copy the definition down. Okay. So at this point, you should have the biography poster project rubric um, in today's assignment. So what you want to do is open that up one more time. And what you guys are going to be doing is self-assessing your own presentation. So at this point, you guys should have completed the PowerPoint presentation assignment, um, and you should be self-assessing your work. So just as you did with the sample presentation, you're looking at the following categories. Shows evidence of thorough research, presents important facts, events, and contributions in the person's life in a manner that holds the reader's attention. It offers insight into the person's character traits and feelings using specific details. It organizes information well using chronological sequence and demonstrates attention to writing conventions and sentence structure. So, all this, as well as in your checklist that is also attached to this specific assignment, there are specific requirements that you should have included in the presentation in order to get a good project grade. So what you guys are doing now is similar to again what we did for the student sample. Review the grading criteria of the rubric and using that to grade your own biography project. So this is on a separate sheet of paper, which is in a Google Doc for today's assignment. So each person will be assigned, will be given this self-assessment sheet, so you can write directly on this sheet. You don't have to worry about erasing other people's work because each person will have their own individual Google Doc. So make sure your name's on it and that you follow the specific format. And then once you complete it, you can go back to revising your poster presentation. Okay. And then on that Google Doc itself, it has the exit ticket. I know I still haven't changed the exit ticket on a sticky note, but the exit ticket you'll find directly on that self-assessment sheet, which is what is one area of the rubric and where you can grow and how so. And then how will you further develop your project in order to experience growth? So make sure you tackle those two questions before you submit today's assignment. So I want to give you an idea of what that looks like. So you have your attendance form, you have the biography rubric, you have the biography candidates, as well as the checklist on here. And then I realized I have not added the self-assessment. So the self-assessment sheet will be right on there. It's going to make a copy for each student. And then as far as these, you already have your own copy. So I'm just going to have you guys view it for today's assignment. But if I click on it, right, you should have your very own. You're going to write your name and then you're going to grade yourself based on the rubric. Give yourself feedback. So, why did you give yourself that grade? And then you also have the exit ticket. So, make sure you answer it down below, which I'll give you a box to include that in. Okay. So, you're going to answer those questions, and that is today's assignment. All right, guys. So let me know if you have any further questions during our class time tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to seeing all your projects. All right. Have a good day. Bye, guys.